Hello and welcome to this fourth tutorial video on how to make a coat with hood for your ragdoll. We've had to adjust the order of this tutorial series slightly because of some technical difficulties we had, but we'll cover those points at the end. We've turned our hood right side out and now we're going to do a row of top stitch about 1 centimetre in all the way around the outside that will give us a channel to pass the elastic through. So I'm sewing through both layers to create a channel to pass the elastic through. This is 7mm elastic and that will gather the hood. Getting that elastic up through there can be quite tricky. Here's how I do it. So the easiest way I found to do this is with a blunt needle and a length of thread with a knot in the end, and I'm going to just pass that through the end. Not easy with a blunt needle, and just do a stitch there to hold it in position. It has to be a blunt needle, otherwise it's just going to keep catching on your fabric on the inside as you're passing it through. So I'm going to pass that up through the inside, just easing it up through that little channel we've created, and then pulling the fabric down over the top of the elastic. And I'll speed this up just so that it doesn't take forever. I just zoom through, easing the elastic in at the end as you go, passing it all the way through, making sure not to lose the end into the hood. Then when you get it through, keep easing it, pull your thread, and then you'll get the end of the elastic will come through too, hopefully. It does work. And there you go, the end of the elastic starts to pop through, and before you pull too much, secure this end. I'm going to leave a little bit sticking out so you can see what I'm doing, but you can take it right up to the edge if you want. Just try and even that out, and as I said, depending on how loose or how gathered you want your hood, you can vary this. My doll's got quite big hair, so I'm probably going to make it even a little less gathered than this. And a pin at each end to hold it in position until you put a few stitches through just to hold the elastic in place. Just across there and across there through the fabric and the elastic. You've probably already hemmed your sleeve, but I'm just going to go straight into this section, and I'm just going to gather between these two notches here and these two sections, and that will give us a gathered section at the top of the sleeve here that will help it to fit into the armhole of the coat. And again, we're going to use just a contrasting thread so that I can pull it out when I've finished with it, just to gather from that notch there. I'll speed up again on this one. There's a lot of this speeding up in this tutorial. Just simple running stitch all the way through between those two notches, just there, and then leave that hanging. We'll bring in this armhole section of the coat here that we want to attach the sleeve to, and we're going to pin right sides together, and there's a notch at the top of the sleeve, and we're going to pin that to this join in the shoulder of the coat, and that's a good positioning notch. Just pin that there. And I'm going to pin the notch on the sleeve to the notch on the arm hole, because I'm going to, before I pin all the way around, I'm going to pin the section that I'm going to be gathering just loosely. So the other notch marked on the other side, pin the mark on the sleeve to the mark on the body of the armhole, and then pull the end of the thread and you can tighten that up so the gather sits nicely, and then once it's evenly spread out, pin it into position. Just a couple of pins should do that. It's quite a thick fabric. Once you've done that, you can continue around with the rest of the sleeve. Take it to the edge of the armhole and on that side too. And once we've pinned that all in place, we're going to sew all the way around there at the top of the arm, and the same on the other side, remembering to remove the tacking when we've done. Now, thanks to the joys of technology and a little gremlin in our machine, we lost this bit of video, so I couldn't recover it. I've had to just add this as images, but this is the back section of the yoke and the two front sections of yoke being sewn together at the shoulders, right sides together, sewn together at the shoulders. We'll use those in a little while. And then the next section I'm going to show you, which we also lost, was where we add the 4 little loops you can see there at the top, and we just fold our elastic in half. These were about 4 centimeters long. Folded in half, I added a few little tacks to hold them into a loop shape, and then another few little tacks to position them down the front, the right side of the coat, on the side that we were going to have our loops pointing into the body of the coat from the edge. Thankfully, those were the only files we lost, and normal service will resume in the next video. That concludes our tutorial video. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please subscribe. We'd love your feedback and a like. There are more videos coming soon.